Hello, everyone out there on Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere else social media you may be watching us. Welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Jason Pape, chiropractor extraordinaire, bringing you education, information, motivation, inspiration on the regular. And tonight is like no other, as it will be all those things. So you're watching live or on replay, please feel free to say hello. If it is your first time seeing us, please drop a number 1 in the comments below. If you have seen me before and have come back for more, please put a number 2 in the comments below. And as you know, let me know where you're watching from, say hi. And as always, if you think anyone else might benefit from this, please feel free to share this out. Put it on a private message in a page, in a group, whatever. We appreciate it. So let me just give you a little bit of stuff up here. So if you'd like to follow us on anything, here's our link tree. Bam! Right there. Where you can click on to follow us on all the socials, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and whatever else we decide to do. And let's get some other captions going here. I'll put that same information on the bottom here, scrolling. And this is me. Bam. Booyah. So again, thank you all for coming tonight. And tonight we have a very special topic. I was trying to figure out what to talk about tonight, and because I've done a lot of topics over the years. And one of my patients was with us, and she said, "Why don't you talk about skin?" So I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm like, you know what? As we went through a list, I had a bunch of stuff we could talk about. So tonight we're going to talk about natural skin health and radiance. Again, I am Dr. Jason Pape, your host and your education information purveyor for the evening. I am the owner of the Vitality Center, the holistic one-stop shop, one of a kind, right here on Hauppauge, Long Island, right on Long Island in Hauppauge, I guess, better way to say it. And if you are local to Long Island or New York, you may come visit us. If not, we can always help you in some other ways. So drop that. We'll put this little message up there that Vincent says to do sometimes, a show. I'm showing it. Where is it going? Bam, drop that 2 in the chat if you are. Nope, he got that wrong. If you're old, you put a 2. If you're new, you put a 1. Anyway, so let's talk. Your skin. Bam. We all got it. We all got it. It is your biggest organ. And it is a living, breathing thing. It's a detox organ. It is really important. Anything you put on your skin goes into your body, right? And it's very important to understand that what you put on your skin affects your body, and that it's also important to take care of this, because this is how we all look to the world. And many people spend a lot of money and procedures to make themselves look young, because this is the part of your body that will age and show that you look not as young as you used to be. If we all had nice, young, youthful skin of a 20-year-old, we'd all look like we were 20 forever. Wouldn't that be nice? But skin changes over time, and those are the things that really show aging. So lines, wrinkles, things like that. So what can we do to really support the health of your skin? Well, there's ways you can do it from inside and outside, right? A lot of people talk about, always about topical, put this skin cream on for this, put skin cream on for that. And while those are helpful things, right, and can be absorbed into the skin, really we have to remember is that a lot of it comes down from the inside out. So our body likes to externalize things it doesn't want inside, right? Externalize infection, externalize toxins, things like that. And there's different ways to get it out. Your poop, your pee, your sweat, your skin. So our skin, our health of our skin is really reflective a lot of times of our GI gut function. So if our gut's not functioning optimally, it can definitely affect our skin health and look. But there's also things we can do topically to help that. So let's talk about a few different things we can do. So I'll pull up some of my slides, and then we'll go from there about how we're going to talk a little bit more. So first, natural skincare we're going to talk about. So, and your skin reflects your internal environment, like I just said. So if your gut internal is bad, your skin may start to reflect that externally. So again, it starts with gut integrity and microbiome balance. We talk about the microbiome, really, that's like good flora versus the bad guys, right? Hormonal fluctuation can definitely affect your skin. Look at teenagers, right? How their skin starts to erupt, right? That's about testosterone, estrogen, all those hormones raging when you're in puberty, as well as women during different parts of their cycles. We'll see different things, right? Chronic stress and inflammation can lead to changes in your skin, as can nutrient deficiencies, all right? So all things we just talked about, your internal health is your external environment. So one thing we like to talk about is red light. So let's talk about some other ways we can intervene. So we're going to talk about nutritional things you can take, things you can put on your skin and other things you can do. So I think the slides I feel like are a little bit out of order. So let me just do this. I'm going to jump ahead a couple slides here. So let's talk about, hold on a second, collagen. All right. So collagen is a good way of putting it, is a scaffolding of your skin. It's what holds everything up and together and makes it look nice. So everyone's always having collagen, collagen, collagen. Collagen this, collagen that. So what is collagen, right? So let's give into a little bit of the one-on-one of collagen. It's a main structural protein of your skin, and it starts to decline with age, starting at 25 years old. So we've talked before about the fact that as we kind of build, right, for the first 18 years of life, and around 2025, we hit that prime. So even though you're in your prime, your skin does start to go down, possibly even at that point. We want to slow that down and kind of work on that a little bit better. So let me go back to this picture. And again, having good levels of collagen helps with skin elasticity and hydration. And elasticity is really what we worry about, right? It's that rebound. Like, what does our skin do over time, right? Like, why do we start getting a little wrinkle? Well, it's because the skin over time, the creases of, fur in your brow, things like that, smile lines, crow's feet. It's all partially because of the pulling and movement, but the elasticity starts to go down. And hydration is a big important part of that, and you need hydration, and you need collagen to help with that. It also supports your joints, your hair, your nails. Okay, so it's not just about your skin. Collagen helps with joint tissue, hair, skin. All right, so there are different ways you can get collagen into your body. It's not always just about eating. But let's talk about what's considered like healthy collagen versus depleted collagen. So again, we talk about that architecture, that support system, right? If your support system is good, it helps prop up the skin. As we start having damage underneath, as you can see in the picture on the right, depleted, it starts to drop, and now you get wrinkles and folds and undulations, if you will, in that skin surface on the top. So again, if your support structure is not good, the skin above it may not be good too. And listen, healthy fat in the skin is always helpful too. Some people look more youthful as they age. Sometimes it's not about collagen, it's about fat and where your body kind of keeps fat. Some people keep it more under the skin. All right. That's why sometimes you'll see people that may be overweight and they look nice and they may look younger, but when they lose weight or lose like too much, like Ozempic face, they get so drawn. So all the face fat gets stuck out of their face. They actually can look older. So let's keep going a little bit here about collagen. So again, when we talk about collagen, let's talk a little more about like what is the best type of collagen, right? Now, when you think about collagen, collagen is a protein. What a protein is a lot of amino acids strung together to make a type of protein. That's what a protein is. Now, if you break that down into smaller pieces, only a few amino acids long, those are called peptides. All right. So if you get peptide versions of things, a lot more easy for your absorption for your skin, your joints, and even in the gut. Now, bone broth is a great source of collagen, right? It's a nice whole food source of minerals, also a really nice electrolyte. All right. Gelatin, again, that's from boiling bones as well. It's good for the gut lining too, as well as for help rebuilding tissue. And particle size is important too. The smaller, the better, right? The smaller the particle, the easier it gets absorbed. Well, that's not what I meant to do on my end. Hold on one second. There we go. I couldn't see my background of my stuff. So let me go back to just me for a second. If y'all are following this along, please feel free to let me know what you're thinking as you're going along here. Tell me who you are, what you're watching, what you're watching from, things like that. And again, if you are new and you're watching on replay, feel free to write replay. Or even if you're not new, write replay. If you've seen me before, though, and you've come back for more, drop that 2 or 1 if you've never seen me before. So again, as we talk about, it's about health, right? So when we talk about collagen, when you talk about proteins, one way you can talk about proteins or the size of the molecule is by what's called a Dalton size. Now, one of the problems with a lot of commercial collagens is that the collagen you're taking in, the Dalton size may be too big to be absorbed. All right. So you need to make sure you're finding products that have a small enough protein structure that your body can absorb it both here and here. So if you're using a topical, the rule of thumb is anything under 500 Daltons can be absorbed through the skin. All right. Now, sometimes it's a little bit, it can be a little bit more, a little less, but that's about what's considered the average. So if you're using a skin-based collagen supplement, and you want to know, is my even absorbing this? Try to find out from the manufacturers what the Dalton size of their proteins are. Now, from a gut standpoint, you want things that are small enough to absorb too. So there are 3 versions. I guess they're trademarked or registered versions of specific types of collagen. Okay. One is called Forta Bone. One is called Forta Gel, and the other one's called Verisol. Those three are the one that are considered the most common with the best absorption and best effect on the body. So I use a product from a company called Designs for Health that actually makes a really nice product called Whole Body Collagen. That's my usual go-to in the office. That has all three of those in it. Okay. If you want to know how to get that, you can actually, let me see. You can actually go to our full script link here, and you can click on that, and you can try to order the Whole Body Collagen from Designs for Health. Orthomolecular makes a nice collagen that has 2 of the 3, I believe. There are other companies that make it too. Vital Proteins is another version of that as well. So that's a lot of people know Vital Proteins, and there are other companies that use similar stuff. But if you look for those 3 things, Forta Bone, Forta Gel, and Verisol, you can be pretty assured that you're getting a good quality collagen that is easily absorbed. All right. So again, give your body what it needs internal to help your skin, your joints, your hair, your nails, right? Biotin's great for hair, skin, and nails too. All right. But there's a lot of things that affect skin as well. And remember, your body will prioritize need. Okay. So if your system is under stress, it will prioritize the more important things and take nutrients and resources from the things that are not as important. Okay. So if you're sick, right, or your body's ill, or you're fighting something off, right, your body's like, well, we can pay the cable bill or we can pay the electric bill. Electric bill is going to win, folks. So if your body's worried about 2 other things, any kind of physical, chemical, emotional stressors that it's trying to deal with, your skin may pay the price because it's not as important. Resources, if you only have limited resources and a budget, your body's going to use for more important life-saving survival things, not your fun stuff. And as much as you might prefer your skin to be better, your body knows what it needs best. Okay. So again, we want to maximize our health internally, so that way we can maximize our external health, because the body will conserve. And that's why when I talk about thyroid, a lot of people's thyroid issues are because their body's stealing from the thyroid conversion downstream, not from the thyroid gland, when it needs resources for other things like immune function, right? Or dealing with overloads of stress, things like that. Skin's going to be on the same spectrum, guys. It's going to be affected by that too. And the quality of our foods are important too, right? We're turning over 500 billion cells every day, 500 billion cells. And we have to rebuild them. And we want to hopefully rebuild them as good, if not better than the ones before them, right? But if you're giving subpar nutrients to your body, building blocks aren't great, you're not going to have a great looking house. So like, again, you're building your brand new dream house. All right. Do you go with the highest quality building materials, or you go with the lowest quality building materials so you can cut costs? Well, if you do, how well do you think one house will stand up versus the other? Right? Well, the house that you want to live in, your big dream house, you want to use the best materials, right? To make the best, most amazing house you have that'll stand the test of time, right? You can build it of twigs, you can build it of straw, or you can build it of brick, right? What do you want to hold your house up with? So if you're sitting around worrying about your skin and you're buying these expensive creams, but you're eating McDonald's, not going to work. Not going to work. All right. Again, this is your skin. This is your body. If you're going to wear your body, where will you live? Right. This is your dream home. Right. Well, it's my dream home, maybe not your dream home, but your body is your dream house. This is it. You don't get another body. Right. And the more work you do early to keep that body optimal, the better it'll be down the road for you. And if you use suboptimal substrate, suboptimal building blocks, at any age, it will eventually start to deteriorate. Listen, you and I could buy a Corvette today. We buy brand new, exact matching Corvettes. We drive them off the lot. And over time, depending on how we care for them, there can be a very large swath of change over time, right? 20 years from now, you can go back and look at those cars and go, wow, this guy kept his car in pretty good shape. This guy's car needs to go to the junkyard, right? Depending how old you are, you ever go back to your high school reunion, right? You go back a 10-year, maybe everyone looks kind of about the same, maybe a little different, a little pointier here, a little less hair there. 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, like you see the same people and the divergence is crazy. Some people look old, some look young, some are dead. They won't be at the reunion, obviously, but my point is, like, there's a lot of factors that come into it. And there's genetic predispositions, but how you treat that car when you drive it off a lot, this is how you decide to build that house. That's really gonna make a difference. All right. So let's go back to some slides here, folks. All right. So again, the gut-skin axis. So collagen will help seal and soothe the gut lining, right? Other things good for the gut are things like glutamine, probiotics, zinc's another good thing for immune system and gut. Gut health reduces systemic inflammation. Remember, immune system, 80% of it's in your gut, folks, 80%. So if your gut's health is not healthy, the body's not healthy. If this is inflamed, the rest of the body's inflamed. Inflammation is number one causing of aging. All right. Cross-linking, change in the skin, things like that. And again, so we'll talk about the skin and the sun in a second, but it's how much can you damage the underpinnings, the architectural support structures over time. And it's not just about, the sun rays, it's about internal inflammation, right? So keeping that system less inflamed. All right, we'll talk about the sun in a little bit. So what are the things we can do for this to help naturally stimulate collagen? So one of them is facial acupuncture. So I know a couple of acupuncturists do this. It's great stuff. So it can help to stimulate collagen and blood flow, relieve muscle tension in the face. Again, muscle tension in the face will cause contraction, make you like furrow the brow, things like that, right? And eventually over time that can create creases and lines. It also helps promote facial symmetry and tone, and also can help us support digestion and stress relief, all those other kind of things. Acupuncture is great. If you're local to me, you want to find a great facial acupuncturist, let me know. I got a name for you. All right. What's another good thing you can do for yourself? Massage, facial massage, right? First, tone and glow. It can boost circulation in the face, reduce the puffiness, get the swelling out, right? Get the lymph drainage better. Enhancing skincare product absorption, rubbing it in really well, especially if you're using good health quality products, right? So someone you can come see for that would be in our office, would be a healing sanctuary and spa, Tatiana. Tatiana is an amazing holistic esthetician. Facial massage, other natural, organic things you can put on your face, an amazing practitioner. So if you want to learn more about Tatiana, drop a 4 in the comments below. We'll get you her information, or just contact the office. And in fact, I'm going to change up this, this ticker on the bottom to show you our contact information, right? So if you want to learn more about Tatiana and what she does at our office, there's her information. Well, there's our information. You can call and find out more about her, because she is a great esthetician in our office that can help from the outside part too, and we'll help you from the inside. Let's go back to this. All right, what else we got? Daily habits make a difference. Drink half your body weight in an ounce of water. So I tell people, at a minimum, I really want you having 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, right? Really, for me, then the best number is like 0.6 times your body weight in ounces, right? So if you weigh 150 pounds, then we should be having about 90 ounces of water, all right? 100 ounces is great for most people. You don't have to have 2 gallons. You don't have to have, but we need to get the water in. And if you're having things like caffeine, alcohol, those are diuretics. They make you lose water. So I always tell people, for every caffeinated or alcoholic beverage, have an extra glass of water. Okay. And remember, anything that's not water isn't water. I know it sounds silly, but anytime you put something in water, it's no longer water. So don't tell me, I got my 10 glasses in today, Jock, and it was 3 cups of iced tea and 4 cups of coffee and, blah, blah, blah. No. The more crap you put in the water, the more your body has to use its own water to dilute it. All right. So water is only water if it's water. All right. What else? And the type of water used is important too. There's certain water that, water molecules will cluster in larger clusters, making it harder to absorb. You have things you can get to break those clusters into microclusters of 3 to 5 molecules each. Better absorption here, body and your skin, right? Sometimes you can drink all the water you want, but if you don't absorb it optimally, not good. And water structuring is another way you can do that. So water structuring is great, where it actually, remember, you've all seen a snowflake before, right? So a snowflake can look really pretty, but if that structure looked kind of like jaggedy and raggedy, wouldn't be the best thing for you, right? And there's a lot of things, energy work and things that can change it. So there's definitely things we can do for water structuring as well. And the right pH of the water is really important too. So sometimes good water filter, having a good filtration system. Because remember, we're drinking all this water. We want to make sure what's in our water is not causing toxins to go into our body also. Omega-3s and colorful vegetables, right? Omega-3s are great because they're good, healthy fats. They're good for our skin, good for our cells, good for inflammation, good for our nervous system. And colorful veggies are great because that's when you get great antioxidants. Oxidative stress. We thought about things like that before. So oxidative stress, right? Free radical damage damages tissues inside and out. Very important for your blood vessels not to have that. That causes plaquing, right? Also your skin, right? What causes that cross-linking of the collagen? What causes that breakdown of that tissue? Well, free radical damage can be a factor there. So antioxidants, both topically and internally, can help. Colorful vegetables are a good source of antioxidants. Now, you need, what they don't tell you is that without fats, you don't absorb the antioxidants from those foods very well. So you need to make sure you're getting good, healthy fats in too. All right, omega-3s, your unsaturated fats like your, I'm saying your saturated fats like your coconut oil, things like that are always good. Now, so about your skin and the sun, right? So everyone worries about sun because, right, UV, too much UV causes damage, right? If you're in the sun too much, you can get skin sunspots and sun freckles, if you will, and sunburn, and then skin cancers. We don't want that. That's a really bad version of that, right? But it can also make the skin look bad. How many people have seen people who get that leathery skin because they've been in the sun too much, right? We'll all look nice with a little bit of tan, but too much over time will cause that skin to look worse, right? We've all seen what the skin can look like when it peels and dies off. You don't want to do that to yourself. Obviously, a good cleaning regimen with a loofah and getting the dead cells off is always healthy, right? But you don't want to be burning it. So there's two ways I like to go about affecting good sun skincare. Now, obviously, protecting yourself is good, but a lot of times the things you put on your skin to protect you from the sun are dangerous, right? They're chemicals too. So and they're getting absorbed into your skin and into your body. No bueno. I like a product. We might have to put this into the comments later. It's a homeopathic, and I'm going to say it, and you're going to be like, what? It's called polypodium leucotomus. Polypodium leucotomus. And what that is a homeopathic that actually blocks the UV rays at the cell, so you don't damage the cell. So I've used it for many years, different versions of it, and have had a nice result where I didn't burn. Like, you look at me, I'm a fair guy. I burn really easy. I walk by a light bulb, I might get a sunburn. So burning is not good. Burning is a good way to, to get cancers and things like that and damage the skin. So it's important for me. I don't want to slather myself with 30 SPF and all that crap too, which is not healthy for me either. So the polypodium leucotomus really works well for me. I used to use a product called Solar Care. I believe that's off the market now. So there's other companies out there that are decent. It's like 200, 250 milligram dose. So that's something I always take before I'm out in the sun because it really helps me. Now, it's not perfect. It's definitely very helpful, though, in minimizing my skin impact of getting burned. So that's one thing I use. I don't put topical. Now, if you do like a topical, there's one doctor I've learned from. Her name is J Dunn, the letter J and then D-U-N-N. So Dr. J makes, different Dr. J. She makes something called Dr. J's Raspberry Rays. And it's like it's got raspberry and other things within it that's all natural that you can put on your skin. That's a great sunblock sunscreen. Okay. That's something else you could use. All right. The third thing I've used, and it'll help me segue into the halo. So I use something in my office called a halo. And the halo is a homeopathic laser. I'll explain that in a second. But the gentleman who created this created a spray that is a homeopathic topical that you can use for burns and poison ivy and hives and things like that. And it works really well. Oh my God, the name of it just escaped me. It's the Miracle Spray. It's a couple times that I've either forgotten to take my polypodium leucotomus, or maybe I took it, but I was out in the sun too much, right? So because you still get sun in, where I got red and I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to burn. I spray this stuff on my skin. I don't get a burn the next day. Freaking cool. Miracle Relief Spray. That's it. So if you're interested in more about those things, let me know. Drop me a message. I'll tell you where to get Dr. J's Raspberry Rays. I'll also tell you where you can get the Miracle Relief Spray. But the halo is really cool too, because that helps me with this also. So the halo is a homeopathic laser. So this may be a little fruit for some of you, but it's all energy type medicine. And we are nothing but energy and frequency, right? Everything vibrates at a specific frequency, right? This phone, every piece of it, every component has its own frequency to it. My hands, my shirt, everything has a frequency, right? And you can affect frequency, affects frequency. Look up Galloping Gertie, and you'll see this bridge back in the 20s or 30s that when cars were going across it, the vibration of the engine vibrated the same resonant frequency of the bridge, and the bridge started doing this, and then eventually the whole thing collapsed. Now they've learned from that, and bridges aren't made like that anymore. But It's pretty cool. Or remember the opera singer would hit that note and then the glass breaks because they hit the right resonant frequency that vibrates to the glass and the glass breaks. Everything vibrates to the frequency. We just can't really understand it like that. So what this does is it takes very homeopathic tinctures. It passes a high-powered light beam through the tincture. The light beam then picks up the frequency of what's in the tincture and drives it, if you put it on the body, into the body. And then the body reacts to the frequency of the thing as if it's there. It's really kind of cool. It's energy medicine, quantum physics type stuff. And you can do it topically on an area. You could do it into a water and charge the water, and we'll come back to that. Or you can do it systemically and by using auricular points on the ear. So again, in Eastern medicine, acupuncture, things like that, the entire body is represented on the ear. So if you halo the ear with that, the frequency will affect the whole body. It's kind of cool. But so you can use it on your skin if God forbid you get a sunburn. We have vials for skin health, hair, skin, and nails. All right. But the cool thing too is we can do a thing for water structuring where we can put it into the water and it structures the water, like I talked about, healthier structures, smaller clusters. Right. And then you can charge the water to other things to help heal the gut body from inside and out. So really kind of cool stuff. You can get a halo for home use, or you can come and use it with us in the office. If you want to know more about the halo, write halo in the comments below. If you want to know about the rays, write Dr. J's rays. If you want to know more about the polypodium, write that in there. If you want to know more about the miracle release plate part, MRS. Yeah. And we'll help you out with any of those kinds of things. Those are not available in full script, unfortunately. But polypodium should be. I just know what brands are on there. So these are all other things we can do to help with skin and help with rejuvenation. All right. Let me see if there's another slide in here that I didn't go to yet. All right. So again, a couple of things. We talk about facial acupuncture, we talk about facial massage and a great esthetician, lifestyle habits, gut support. We're going to come back to, and we're going to talk about red light. So I'm going to go back to one of the slides from earlier, which we didn't go to. We'll come back. So let's talk about red light and then we'll talk about gut health a little bit more. So red light, the right frequencies. All right. The best healing frequencies are around 660 and 890. Okay. Those nanometer wavelengths are the best, right? So red light, especially at those lights, red and near red, will actually help with fine lines, wrinkles, inflammation, and then lymph flow, a little higher frequency. So it can boost the collagen and elastin. It can lower inflammation, improve circulation, and hence cellular repair. I love lasers. I've been using lasers in my office for 20 years. So people say to me, Doc, red light, red light, red light. I'm like, I've been using red light for 20 years. Like, I've been using near red, red, and infrared. I've been using blue. I've been using, there's so many other colors that also do things too. So it's like, to me, it's like old knowledge, but it's become much more the zeitgeist and people can get it a lot cheaper. So some different things we like to use in the office. And I'll talk about some things you can do to get that. So I do use something that is a very powerful light that does both. It's 20,000 watts of power, very powerful. We call it the LZR. All right. So the LZR is great because, and it's only on for 30 seconds at a time. You can put it right on your face. It's like this big, about the size like that. And it really is very bright. And you can put it on different areas, 30 seconds at a time, built-in little fan, really powerful light to get that in there. All right. So you can use that on your skin. But I find it's a little bit more costly than some other things, but very effective. Most things are not anywhere close to that power. All right. But I do have something that's even more inexpensive that we use in the office. It's called the DNA Jazz Vibe light. And basically it's a red near red, the right wavelengths. It's a pad. It's about this big. It's round. It's gel. It's flexible. You strap it yourself. It also has things with micro vibrations to help with circulation. It also has a little bit of a healthy EMF in there to help promote circulation, relaxation, and improve capillary refill. So a lot of cool things, and it's very inexpensive. So if you want to know more about the Jazz Band, type in jazz in the comments below. I don't think I have a link for that set up here just yet, but we'll try to do that later. These are all cool things you can do. And then again, I also use another product called the Lumi Lights. So we did a Lumi Light lecture probably beginning of March, which is pretty awesome. But one of the cool things about the Lumi Lights is they have red, near red, blue, yellow, green, all with different light wavelengths and frequency. And the different frequencies can be used for different things like skin and health and inflammation and things like that too. But they have this awesome face mask you can put on. So especially if you want to look to make your face good, there's plenty of face masks out there, but this one's really impressive because not only does it have high quality red and near red light, at the right wavelength for healing, it also has other frequencies you can program into it to even better enhance inflammation, cellular repair, and things like that. So let me know if you want to learn more about the Lumis. I think I actually have a link for Lumis in here. Do I have a link for Lumis? Do I have a link for Lumis? I don't think I do have anything for you with that, but we can. So let me know. I don't know what I've got queued up for my staff here today, so I don't know. Let me see if I have any other Lumi information I can do here. Nope. Not tonight, folks. Not tonight. Sorry, we're a little underlinked here. So all important stuff. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about gut. Gut's really important. Remember, we thought before, the inside is reflecting on the outside. So if your gut's not healthy, that's going to be a problem. So we talk about collagen being a helpful piece for that. There's another product I use from a company called Orthomolecular called Collagen Factors, which you can get on FullScript, which gives your body some building blocks to make more healthy collagen. So sometimes you can take a good collagen supplement plus the collagen factors, especially for the skin. All right, so that's something else we can use. But a good probiotic, digestive enzyme, two of my core things I use for the gut are really important to help rebuild gut health. Now, there's more things you can do for gut health. Glutamine is another thing we mentioned earlier to feed the good cells in the gut. But those are really important factors to add into. So like if you said to me, Doc, all right, I need 3 or 4 core supplements that I should take to help my skin. I'd be like, take the whole body collagen from Designs for Health. I'd say take the collagen factors from Orthomolecular. I would say take a good probiotic. I use Claire Labs Therabiotic Complete, or you can use the Tribiotic from Biologent. Those are 2 great ones. And then probably a digestive enzyme. A lot of times I use digeszymes from a company called Designs for Health too. So 3 of the 4 of those you can get on our FullScript link. If you want the Biologent link for some great stuff, that would be right here, where you can get stuff from Biologent. That's the black seed oil, which is great for your gut and your skin as well. They have a great berberine, a great adrenal support, a great multi, and a really awesome probiotic called Tribiotic. And a good female peri and postmenopausal support. So they have awesome stuff. And we thought hormonal fluctuations can be effective too. So again, it's about finding a good doctor who can help you work with your hormones if they're out of balance. Someone like me or another functional medicine doctor that's good with hormones, especially for women and for young men as well. So a lot of things we covered tonight, folks. And so I think we got a lot of information. A lot of you may be like, well, why am I listening to this guy talk to me about skincare because I'm a woman and what does he know? Well, I think I know a lot. So I'm here to help. That's our Vitality Gin checklist, and then I'll give you a thank you. But that's our checklist. Again, red light, halo. So whether it's the DNA Vibe Jazz Band. I think I'm saying it right. Our collagen, like we mentioned, or the collagen support, gut support, we saw acupuncture. If you need good facial acupuncture, so I'll get your name if you're local. Facial massage, like our amazing Tatiana Batten at our office. And then our lifestyle habits, like we talked about before too, your food, your skincare, all those kinds of things. There's so many pieces to it. So I gave you guys a lot of good information. If you want more information, feel free to drop the question info. If there's some questions you specifically have, if you want to learn more about what we did talk about tonight, feel free to drop those questions in the comments below, whether it's replay or live. As always, the best way to say thank you is to share this out. Whether you put it on your page, by messaging the group in a post, whatever, that'd be great. So Nicole's asking me no Botox. So I'm not a fan, Nicole. And you do what you got to do, but there's so many other ways that I would like to do things. Now, look, there's other ways you can, and again, we have a great RN we work with that does do some Botox if someone really wants it. And she won't do fillers because fillers are just crap. But one other thing we can talk about really quick is stem cells. So one of the things we do we do stem cells in my office, and very high potency, high density stem cells. So one thing we have done is put it into people's fine lines to help them regrow and regenerate. So if you really want to try that out, like do some facial and internal, we do some IV, we do some facial, come see our restorative medicine doctors if you want to learn more about how you can use stem cells for many things, not just joint health, but also skin health and other things as well. But yes, no Botox. And thank you for sharing, Vincent. So again, putting it on a page, by messaging the group in a post, whatever, put it on someone's other thing. Microneedling can be good too, Lauren. There is some information out there that does talk about maybe microneedling is not as good as people think it is, but I definitely have seen some good results with that. I think facial acupuncture can be better because it does go deeper. And depending on who you're doing your microneedling to, Lauren. So estheticians can only go so deep, nurses can go deeper. And then if you really want to do PRP or like what I would call a vampire facial, where they do the microneedling or even dermaplaning and then take your own plasma and put it on there. Pretty amazing. Well, we used to have a esthetician in the past that did it in the office, so we can still actually do it in our office with our nurse practitioner. Basically, you take out the plasma, the blood from the patient, you spin it, separate out the plasma from the rest of the blood, and you take that plasma, which is rich in platelets, and you can actually put it on the skin and put it right onto that tissue you just opened up to help really stimulate more collagen growth, as well as put in the good things to help the body rebuild tissue. It's another really cool thing that you can do. Vampire facials, blood facials, they're also called, with microneedling or dermaplaning. So not that microneedling is not bad for you. I just have heard some things that recently that maybe microneedling is not as optimal as people think it might be. So, but I don't have an issue with any of those things. They're much more natural ways to stimulate collagen growth in the face. But you got to give the body what it needs too. You can't just go, like, if you just do microneedling or dermaplaning, okay, great. You're taking off you're going to stimulate some stuff, but what are you doing to help your body rebuild it? Right? Are you giving it the collagen and the collagen factors it needs to build that? Are you taking the inflammation out of the body so you have the best reaction? There's a lot of cool things we can do. So, any other questions while I'm here before I go and make you all go to bed, because it's almost 9 o'clock here on the East Coast? All right. So thank you all again for attending. As always, I am Dr. Jason Pape, chiropractor extraordinaire. And Lauren, thank you for this topic tonight. Hopefully I hit the nail on the head for you. But find us every week on Tuesday. We'll be doing this every week. Education, information, motivation, inspiration on the regular. I am your host, Dr. Jason Pape, and I am a functional medicine chiropractor in Hauppauge along Long Island. And we are the holistic one-stop shop known as the Vitality Center. If you need it, we got it. Hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all in the next video. Dr. Ketone out.